Hi, this is Lauren, and my project 2 with immigration law, I chose the topic, the evolution of immigration policy in the United States. So the first event that I included here is the 1798 Alien and Sedition Acts. This was one of the first restrictive immigration acts in the United States. It gave power to the president to deport individual immigrants and changed the requirements for citizenship in relation to residency from 5 to 14 years. Among other uses, this also limited free speech by giving presidential power to detain anyone who spoke negatively about the government and their decisions. The next act I'm including is the Page Act of 1875. This was another early restrictive federal immigration law passed in the U.S. The statute limited convicts and prostitutes from admission. These restrictions were justified as quality control at the time, based on the nature of immigrants, and was unfortunately directed at Chinese immigrants mostly and so-called coolie labor. The next act I included is the Emergency Quota Act of 1921. The Immigration Act of 1921 limited the number of immigrants allowed entry into the U.S. through a national origins quota. This quota provided immigration visas to 2% of the total number of people of each nationality in the United States as of the 1890 national census. The next act I'm including, the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1952. This new policy centralized immigration enforcement more than it previously had been. It continued the quota system and added more restrictive arrangements. It refused due process to immigrants and was also shortly followed by the Refugee Relief Act. The next act I'm including is the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. The Immigration and Nationality Act abolished the quota system based on national origin and established a new policy based on reuniting immigrant families and bringing skilled labor into the United States. So in other words, it was a lot easier to immigrate here and become a citizen if you already had family that was in the United States or you had a marketable skill that they saw as valuable. The next act I'm including is the Immigration Reform and Control Act of 1986. The Immigration Reform and Control Act made it illegal to hire unauthorized immigrants and put in place financial and other penalties for businesses that employed these illegal immigrants. The act also legalized most undocumented immigrants who had arrived in the United States before 1982. And the last act that I'm including is the response to 9/11. There were two acts, the United States Patriot Act and the Homeland Security Act. So in the aftermath of 9/11, the U.S. Patriot Act and Homeland Security Act were passed. A portion of the Patriot Act amends the Immigration and Nationality Act to give more enforcement and investigative power to the Attorney General and to the INS. In 2002, the Homeland Security Act reorganized the INS and immigration functions under the Department of Homeland Security, and that's kind of where we leave off today. I would consider this to be the last big change in our immigration policies in the United States, would be how we responded in the aftermath of 9/11. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching.